Climate change and coastal groundwater resources. Climate change and coastal groundwater resources, a looming crisis. Climate change is one of the most pressing challenges of our time, with far-reaching consequences that touch every corner of our planet. One of the often overlooked impacts of climate change is its effect on coastal groundwater resources. As sea levels rise, temperatures increase, and weather patterns shift, the delicate balance of coastal groundwater systems is being threatened. The nexus of climate change and coastal groundwater resources. Coastal groundwater resources play a critical role in sustaining ecosystems, providing drinking water, supporting agriculture, and even influencing coastal economies. They are an essential component of the hydrological cycle, serving as a bridge between land and sea. However, their vulnerability to climate change is becoming increasingly evident. Rising sea levels, driven by the melting of polar ice and the expansion of seawater as temperatures rise, pose a significant threat to coastal groundwater systems. As sea levels rise, the saltwater-freshwater interface, the boundary between saltwater in the ocean and freshwater in the groundwater, moves inland. Sea level rise and saltwater intrusion. Sea level rise is a direct consequence of global warming, primarily caused by the emission of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. The rise in sea levels intensifies the pressure on coastal aquifers. As seawater infiltrates these aquifers, it displaces the freshwater resources that communities rely on. The intrusion of saltwater into freshwater aquifers not only reduces the availability of potable water but also deteriorates soil quality for agriculture. Crops grown with salt-contaminated water and soil suffer reduced yields and compromised quality, posing a direct threat to food security. Changing weather patterns and groundwater recharge. Climate change is also altering weather patterns, leading to changes in precipitation and evaporation rates. These changes can disrupt the natural processes of groundwater recharge, the replenishment of aquifers by precipitation that percolates through the soil. Extreme weather events, such as prolonged droughts or heavy rainfall, can hinder groundwater recharge. Droughts lead to diminished groundwater levels, further increasing the risk of saltwater intrusion as the interface between saltwater and freshwater shifts inland due to lower groundwater pressure. Conversely, intense rainfall can cause rapid runoff, preventing water from seeping into the ground and recharging aquifers effectively. Mitigation strategies and adaptation measures. Addressing the impacts of climate change on coastal groundwater resources requires a multifaceted approach that combines mitigation strategies and adaptation measures. Here are some strategies that can help alleviate the threats posed by climate change. 1. Improved water management. Implementing efficient water management practices can reduce the strain on coastal aquifers. This includes regulating groundwater extraction, promoting water conservation, and encouraging the use of alternative water sources. 2. Managed aquifer recharge, MAR. MAR involves artificially recharging aquifers with excess surface water during periods of high precipitation. This strategy helps maintain groundwater levels and counteract saltwater intrusion. 3. Desalination technologies. Desalination, the process of removing salt from seawater, can provide an alternative source of fresh water for coastal communities. While energy-intensive, advancements in desalination technologies are making it a more viable option. 4. Land use planning. Implementing well-designed land use plans can prevent over-extraction of groundwater and minimize the risk of saltwater intrusion. This includes protecting natural buffers and wetlands that act as barriers against saltwater intrusion. These policies can guide communities in making informed decisions about water use and development. Conclusion. climate change poses a complex and interconnected set of challenges that impact various aspects of our environment and society. As we continue to witness the effects of climate change, it is imperative that we prioritize the preservation of coastal groundwater resources. By embracing innovative strategies, sustainable practices, and effective policies, we can work towards safeguarding these essential resources. Challenges and collaborative efforts. While the strategies mentioned earlier hold promise, addressing the intricate relationship between climate change and coastal groundwater resources is not without its challenges. Data and monitoring. Accurate data collection and monitoring are crucial for understanding the dynamics of coastal groundwater systems. Many regions lack comprehensive data on groundwater levels, quality, and saltwater intrusion. Establishing robust monitoring networks and sharing data across borders can provide valuable insights for informed decision-making. Energy intensiveness. Some of the proposed solutions, such as desalination, can be energy-intensive. As we strive to transition to cleaner energy sources, finding ways to power these processes sustainably will be essential. Advancements in renewable energy technologies can help mitigate the environmental impact of energy-intensive strategies. Financial and technical barriers. Implementing innovative solutions often requires financial investment and technical expertise. Small and economically disadvantaged communities might face difficulties in adopting these measures. To address this, governments and international organizations can play a pivotal role by offering financial assistance, technical support, and capacity-building programs. Collaboration is paramount in tackling the challenges posed by climate change and coastal groundwater resources. The scale of the issue necessitates partnerships between governments, scientists, researchers, communities, and non-governmental organizations. International cooperation can facilitate the exchange of knowledge, expertise, and resources, enabling regions to learn from each other's successes and failures. Case studies in adaptation. Several regions around the world have begun implementing adaptation measures to address the impacts of climate change on coastal groundwater resources. The Netherlands, for instance, has a long history of managing water resources due to its low-lying geography. The country employs a combination of dikes, dams, and controlled flooding to manage sea level rise and protect groundwater resources from saltwater intrusion. In the United States, cities like Miami are facing significant challenges due to rising sea levels and saltwater intrusion. To combat these issues, local authorities are investing in infrastructure improvements, including raising roads and installing pumps to prevent flooding and manage groundwater levels. Similarly, countries in the Middle East, such as Israel and Saudi Arabia, have been at the forefront of desalination technology.